everyone, it's Peyton. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's been a couple weeks, I know. So today's video, I kind of just wanted to chit chat like where I've been at health-wise, because I'm thinking it could probably help someone out there, and to just kind of get it out, because I've been talking about it a little bit on my TikTok about like not really feeling my best and kind of being in like a little decline. So we're just gonna talk about it. So backtrack, we're going to go over my little health journey a little bit, I guess. So back for like the last 2 years of my fitness journey, it was a lot of just like protein and supplements and stuff like that to get in the max amount of protein and like lean meats only. So like my fat was probably at like 20 grams a day, 20 to 30 grams a day, so very low, just like low energy, and my stomach was starting to like hurt after I ate, and it would get super bloated, and like I reverse dieted a lot to try to get my calories back up, and what ended up happening was like I was just kind of like slowly gaining weight, so it's just like this really long bulk basically, because like reverse dieting just like wasn't working. I was just gaining weight, but like slowly, because I was slowly increasing the calories, so it's just like I said, just like a really big bulk, but like I wasn't feeling good, like getting stronger from the bulk. I was just like getting puffier and more frustrated. And flash forward, I ended up cutting, and I was cutting at like 1,600 calories, which is nothing for someone who's been lifting for 2 years, especially being a young girl as well, active girl who also walks a lot and is just standing a lot on my day-to-day basis. Like I should be able to eat a lot more than that in order to lose weight. Like I should not have to restrict myself that much in order just to shed a few pounds. So then I ended up getting into like a holistic approach of food and realizing that like maybe something to do with all of the protein bars and powders and all of that had something to do with the way I was feeling. And so that was about July time that I switched off of that and started to eat closer to like 1,800 calories, but I was eating whole foods. I started incorporating more beef into my diet and eggs, just trying to like get my fat up, because I wasn't eating any fat, so my hormones were like out of whack, not knowing what to do, because your fat really helps control your hormones. So I ended up just like, I wasn't feeling good, so I ended up switching over to that. And then I started supplementing a little bit just to kind of get things figured out, because I thought it was my thyroid that had an issue, and I'm very against medication unless you absolutely need it. Personal preference, I don't care if you take medication, I really don't. I would always advise against it. I think there's a natural way to do everything, so I just personally don't do anything for that. So I started supplementing a lot in like July, August time, like I said, and so it's like a lot of like selenium, zinc, magnesium, like a B complex vitamin. I was just like supplementing a lot in order to kind of get nutrients into my body that it's been lacking for a long time. And I started to feel really, really good. So then I slowly kind of got off the supplementation and started continuing just to eat like meat, fruit, honey, eggs, dairy products. And so like a typical day I would have like my coffee with like a whole milk creamer with no like added gums or anything like that. I stepped away from anything sugar-free or diet or protein bars or anything like that that has like the gums and the chemicals and like the dyes that just mess up with your gut, because your gut doesn't know what to do with all that because it's not natural. But so I got away from all that, and I started to feel a lot better. Like my energy was going up. I was losing fat and weight very fast. So I was like upping my calories, and I ended up at like 2,200 calories a day, and I was like, that was like my maintenance. So if I ate like 2,100, I was losing, and like I just felt so good. Like I was eating and eating, and like it just felt like a fire was burning in my stomach, because it was like I would eat, and then like half an hour later I was like, I could eat again. And like I just felt like I was constantly fueling like small meals throughout the day of whole foods. Like I felt so good. I was sleeping good. I was spending a lot of time out in the sun and just starting to work out less, I started to incorporate 2 rest days into my split instead of just 1. And November time kind of hit and I decided to go on a bulk because I was like, okay, I'm kind of dropping a lot, like I'm gonna take this as a time to build up a little bit. So then I stayed at the 2200 calorie range, and then I tried to increase it a little bit and I just like gained weight. And then so I dropped it back down. Holiday season came, all the foods that came along with that. By December, I was starting to gain at 2000 calories. And so it was really frustrating to see that step backwards. Granted, a lot of factors could come into this, like the lack of sunlight and just lack of time outside can really affect your weight and hormone levels. But I was just getting really, really frustrated. December came where I was eating Christmas cookies, but I was still trying to stay in that 2000 range, but my body really didn't know what to do with all that, like refined sugars and stuff like that. So I was just like puffing up fast, and then like, you know how addicting sugar is, like I was just eating it because like Christmas cookies were in the house. Like obviously I wasn't gonna just not eat them ever, but it's like I was eating them and like I was feeling gross. And then I tried to switch off of, like once the cookies were gone, like I stopped eating them. And then I still, like I went on a trip to Tennessee for New Year's where we ate like Buc-ee's on the way there, so not good food. And then like while we were there, we did like restaurant food, like at least once a day. So like we would make breakfast or whatever in like the cabin or the hotel or whatever. And then we ate out like once a day there. So restaurant food. And then I came back and I just felt awful, like something was like wrong. Not just talking weight gain, I'm talking extreme like fatigue. I felt like, this is like the only way I could put it, is like I felt like I was still like inside my body, but I wasn't controlling it. Like I was like I don't even know like how I worded it. I was explaining this to my boyfriend and I was like, I felt like an outsider in my own body. Like that's what I told him, and I was like, I'm saying what I'm saying to you, but I'm not like controlling it. And so like my moods were all over the place and I just like wasn't fun to be around. And like my period was coming late and it was like excruciatingly painful. One of them lasted like a full 6-7 days, which my periods are normally like 4 to 5 days, lasted longer. And there was one day that I went through like 8 Super Plus tampons in a day, just like a lot. Like I was getting lightheaded and something was just like seriously wrong. Did not know what was happening. The thing is that I was just getting like really bad chills, like to the bone chills. Like my spine was like getting chills instead of just like, oh, I'm cold. Like no, like it was like cold. And I live in Florida. So like, yeah, it was getting a little chilly, like 40s, 50s, whatever, but no reason for my spine to be like, especially coming back from being in Tennessee for a couple days, like coming back to Florida and being freezing. I scheduled an appointment with the doctor and kind of let him know what was going on. And like I pretty much let him know like what my diet was like, what happened, and like the weight stuff. And he said, well, like the weight and period stuff could simply just be like a time period in your life. Like you're a woman, like your hormones are always going to be changing, and especially right now with how young I am, and if like anything changes in my life, which I have a lot of big changes coming up soon. So he said like you could just be stressed. He's like, I had someone who got engaged and their wedding, they haven't gotten their period since they started wedding planning just out of like stress. So I was like, okay, well, I want to get my thyroid tested, I want to get my estrogen and progesterone levels tested, and I also wanted my testosterone levels tested, but that didn't get included somehow. But anyways, I got like my iron levels tested, I got my B12 vitamin tested, I don't know, I just got like a lot of stuff tested, and I ended up giving like 8 tubes of blood to test it. So I got blood work done, just recently got that back, and it turns out my iron binding capacity is low, which could be affecting all of this stuff. So that is like not that I'm not getting enough iron in my diet, it's that my body can't like process it. That explains the like under eye circles that I get and like the chills and the extreme fatigue. Also, iron controls a lot with your metabolism if it can't process properly. So I'm currently in the process of trying to fix that naturally. I'm in the process of trying to clear out my gut system and just completely restart my gut microbiome. So I've been eating not a lot of variety of food. Anything that would be difficult for my stomach to break down, I can't have right now. These are the supplements I'm currently taking. This one is just a digestive support. There's just some herbs in it that's supposed to be full of antioxidants. I take 2 of those a day. This is black seed oil, and this is going to help with my iron as well. I take one of these with like my breakfast and then one with either like lunch or dinner, just whenever I eat. This is Betadine HCI. Take one of those in the morning. This is NAC. Take one of those in the morning. And this is oil of oregano. I take 2 of these in the morning and 2 of them with either lunch or dinner, like I said. And yeah, so that's the current supplement list. I feel a little better. I have dropped about like 3 pounds again because, I mean, again though, I'm not eating as much as I was. I'm currently at like a 1800 calorie intake level, which again is low for my activity level, but it's definitely better than it was. I'm trying really hard to be like really positive about this, and like I know it's gonna, after I keep learning more about what's going on and why and how to help it, I know I'm gonna be able to help more people out of it, but it's just been like really frustrating, especially as someone who is a personal trainer and a content creator in the health and wellness space. It's like kind of brings out like a little bit of a fraud feeling where it's like if I can't even like help myself and figure out what's going on with myself, like how am I supposed to help all these people? And it's just kind of been like a journey. And yeah, it's been interesting, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Hoping to I mean, I'm expecting it to definitely get better regardless of all of this stuff within the next month, just because spring is coming. And so I'll spend a lot more time in the sun and outdoors, which helps hormone balancing a lot, which can help you obviously lose weight, because if you're holding on and your hormones are all out of whack, your body's going to be in survival mode and it's not going to process things the way it should. But I'm just hoping to get this all figured out to the point where next winter it's not so bad, because this year was awful. Yeah, I've been doing a lot more study-wise on hormones and gut health, so I'm excited to bring that content onto all of my platforms. I've already definitely started with a lot of my Instagram and TikTok, so if you want to follow me on there, mean the world. I just started a hormone series on my podcast. You can check that out. All of it's going to be in the description. Yeah. I also still need to focus a little bit more on like my thyroid health, because a lot of the times what doctors do is they test your T4 levels, and that's exactly what happened. They didn't do a full panel for me where they test my T3 and TSH as well. So a lot of the times T3 is what's struggling, but I wasn't really gonna go on like any sort of thyroid help anyways, so I was just gonna focus on like a little thyroid help diet cleanse that's a lot more just like vitamins and minerals. So that was the plan with that. Gonna continue that and just kind of see what I can do for myself naturally with help from like knowing what's wrong with the blood work. Like I said, I'm personally against most medication unless absolutely necessary. So unless I get to a point where they're like, you need this, I'm just gonna try to figure it out myself. Yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. I don't know, I was just kind of hoping to explain some of this stuff to maybe like help someone who might have similar issues going on, and to encourage you to go get blood work done, because you never know what could be wrong. It could be, like I said, it could be your thyroid, it could be your iron binding capacity apparently. It could be like your B12, it could be your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone, it could be a million different things. It could be your, I don't know, but yeah. That's gonna wrap up this video. I'm very excited to get back into content making on here. It really hasn't been that long. I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks on here, but I wasn't gonna sit here and try to make all like, come do this with me, because yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but anyways, I will, sorry, this isn't the most like energetic version of me. It's just been like really, really frustrating. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.